I opened the door with a gift in my hand, a small, neatly wrapped box. Her favorite perfume. I had the receipt in my pocket, just in case she didn't like it, but I never got the chance to give it, because the moment I stepped inside, the music stopped. Every head turned. My wife stood in the center of the hall, dress crisp, medals shining, glass of champagne trembling slightly in her hand. And her captain, Commander Hale, was on one knee before her, holding out a diamond ring that reflected every drop of my stupidity. His voice carried through the speakers. "Will you leave your weak, 1 minute in bed husband and marry me?" Laughter, loud, cruel. Even the waiters paused to listen. And she said it. She said yes. Right there, under the flag I once saluted, in front of people who once called me sir. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I just stood there, gift in hand, heartbeat in pieces. Then I turned around and walked out, quietly. It wasn't always like this. I met Sarah when she was still a cadet, back when discipline meant something to her. We were two soldiers chasing the same sun. She admired my calm, said I was the kind of man who could stop a war by blinking twice. I believed her. She climbed fast. I supported her. Promotions, deployments, training tours, I handled the home front, paid the bills, cooked the meals, smiled through loneliness. She called it love. But then came Commander Hale. Smooth voice, sharp smile. The kind of man who talked like he was always half a drink away from a bad decision. I trusted him because she did. Trust. That's the most expensive word in any marriage. It costs everything when it breaks. The signs were small at first. The late-night briefings, the sudden laughter over encrypted calls, the perfume I didn't buy. Then, one night, her phone lit up beside me. Message preview. When he's asleep, call me. I didn't confront her. Not right away. I just memorized every detail, every timestamp, every lie. I started keeping records, not for revenge, but for understanding. At least that's what I told myself at first. But truth has a way of sharpening you. By the end, I wasn't collecting proof. I was preparing for war. When she left that night for her naval strategy dinner, I followed from a distance. Saw her walk into the same restaurant where we celebrated our anniversary last year, now with him. Saw his hand on her back, her laugh, the kiss. That was my declaration of independence. From that moment, every move I made was deliberate. I canceled the house's automatic payments, mortgage, utilities, insurance, everything in her name. Froze the joint accounts, transferred assets out of reach. She thought she handled finances because I let her. She didn't know I still owned everything. Then came the real blow, the $557 million contract. My company supplied high-grade military logistics, drones, vehicles, encrypted systems. She and Hale's department depended on my tech. Without my clearance, their fleet couldn't move, literally. So I pulled the plug, quietly. System by system, server by server. When they toasted that night, I was already pulling the last code key. 10 minutes after I left the party, her name flashed on my screen. Once, twice, then dozens of times. By the time I reached home, it was 156 missed calls. Her messages switched from confusion to panic. Then came one from Hale. "What did you do?" I poured myself a drink, watched the quiet night through the window, and waited. At 11:43 p.m., there was a knock on my door. Not gentle, not polite, rhythmic, military. I opened it. Commander Hale stood there, face pale, uniform half undone, eyes frantic. Behind him, flashing lights, military police. "You shut everything down," he spat. "The entire operation's frozen. You're sabotaging the Navy." I smiled. Correction. I withdrew private assets under private ownership. Your operation just happened to be parasitic. He tried to step in. I didn't move. Sarah's being questioned, he said. You'll ruin her career. Her career ruined itself, I said quietly. I'm just turning off the lights. He lunged. I didn't flinch. The MPs pulled him back. One of them, an old comrade, met my eyes, gave a slight nod, and said, "We'll handle it, sir." And that was that. By dawn, it was all over. The promotion party was headline news for the wrong reasons. Naval scandal. Commander and officer under investigation for breach of conduct. The engagement video leaked. Someone uploaded it. I didn't. Someone else did. Probably one of the guests who wanted views. The internet didn't disappoint. The comment section became her courtroom. She called me 100 more times that week, then stopped. I heard she resigned before they could discharge her. Hale was reassigned to a desk in the Arctic Division. Perfect. Cold suits him. Sometimes I replay that night. The laughter, the ring, the applause, and I smile. Because walking away wasn't weakness, it was the setup.